we're live here, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, technical difficulties is quite a thing. But we're now live here at prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all music and wrestling matters here on Sportzwire Radio. Now our guest, you might want to say, is going to look to give some seasons beatings and maybe leave his opponents into a winter wasteland. I'll explain. I'll also talk about what's going on in Mon Valley Pro Wrestling, and is it a change of attitude, or am I missing something? We'll talk about maybe what that Peanut Butter and Jealous team had to say this past weekend about the gentleman of exquisite caliber. We'll get into that. We'll also talk about a match that our guest had with a Black Sheep Society Club member that happened a few weeks ago. Yeah, we'll get into that. Maybe we'll talk about what he did this past weekend, and well, against a guy whose last name's Tyler, not related to Tyler Grayson, but first name Kevin. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But we're going to be talking a lot about the WVWF because our guest, and I still can't figure out what is going on between him and Phoebe Harper. Boy, I hope they figure it out because they've only got one more shot to do that. Plus, we'll talk about a number of different things. You better have your preferred beverage site because it's now time to start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one level radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one cable sports show. He is the one and only gentleman of exquisite caliber, Godrick my friend, how are we doing?
After a rousing entrance like that, I must say I am quite enraptured this evening. How about yourself, Reverend?
Well, I'm doing great. I do want to shout out Miss Jennifer who said she was going to pop in for a few minutes and she was tired from her own Facebook Live and she wanted to specifically call you Hamilton and remind you that you're Hamilton and another place I'll certainly be getting to shortly. So I did want to give her a shout out before she may exit stage left, to quote one of the greatest live albums of all time, that is Rush. But we're going to certainly rush here to get to what we have to talk about because we have a lot to get into here. And I think I will start with Mon Valley Pro Wrestling because Godrick Sandwell, we have a show here coming up in a few weeks, December the 13th, and I want to get your opinions on, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you and the companies that you represent have certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio. Talk about how a change of attitude might help you give some seasons beatings in Mon Valley Pro Wrestling.
Well, let's see here. Every time I've gone to Charleroi recently, they have not been the most, receptive of yours truly. For what reasons? I'm not entirely sure. So if it's a more morose attitude that they want, then, well, I'm just going to give them a little bit more of a dastardly attitude from yours truly. And if that means I have to If I have to face somebody like a Lestat, if that means I have to face a Judo Jones, then that is exactly what I will do.
Well, I mean, obviously, men you've shared a locker room with quite a bit, and obviously, the Banana Man Lestat has basically become the mini belt collector. But it's kind of crazy to me because Saturday we were here with Peanut Butter and Jealous, the be all end all Andrew Lovelace, who says he has the best tan in the business, and then we're also joined here by the Hammer Max Strong, who had claimed to say he's got the best abs in the business, and it seemed like it's weird because I've known both of you, all three of yous, for the past almost 18 months. And it seemed as if Peanut Butter and Jealous was saying they agreed with you for the first time. They liked and they understood where you were coming from here in Mon Valley Pro Wrestling. And am I missing something? Because this had to have been the first time I've heard Peanut Butter and Jealous, Andrew Lovelace, and Max Strong say Godrick Sandwell, thumbs up.
Oh, I do appreciate the compliment coming from the tandem of Peanut Butter and Jealous. Now, as I had mentioned before, Charleroi has not been very kind to yours truly, and I'm still trying to figure out why. But I did notice that they have been treating Peanut Butter and Jealous rather rudely, in spite of the fact they are quite the formidable duo themselves. A mystery, yes.
Very mysterious, and I know that they will be in action once again, getting a shot at those Mon Valley Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships that they desire, and that has been a common theme here in Sportswire over the past year. And the guys will be back here on December the 20th to talk about whether they won those Mon Valley Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. And like yourself, you were in a championship match, which we're going to show in a minute or two, where you came up short. So maybe that's also where you see eye to eye with Peanut Butter and Jealous, because you were certainly inching yourself ever so closely to championship gold there in Mon Valley Pro, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, if one Mr. Joshua Kavad did not get in my way, as I have asked him many times not to.
Well, he's not going to get in your way much longer, because as we know that his in-ring career is over as of last weekend. I'm sure you're well aware of that, and you may have been in Parkersburg, but obviously last weekend we know that his in-ring career, well, came to a close.
Yes, I am most privy to that matter. In spite of how I feel about Mr. Kavad right now for getting in the way of championship glory for yours truly a multitude of times, I'm happy that you got the retirement that you had desired. From what I understand, you went out on what is your actual own terms. So that I do appreciate for whoever's listening, for whatever the circumstances may be. But he got to walk away on his own power, and for that, I'm happy for him. But even that, with that being said, I may not say this too much, but I will say to one Master Dave Jameson, thank you very kindly.
I was going to say that before I rudely got, exit stage left here, because it's raining horribly here in New York, and I had lost a signal there for a second. But, I mean, obviously you wish that you could have been the one maybe to have finished the job of Joshua Kavad's in-ring career.
Well, I wouldn't mind that accolade on my resume, but should it not have been me, then I suppose Mr. Jameson would have done
and
just
Mr.
as well.
Jameson is here and did want to say that he was extremely honored to have had his retirement match. And I want to remind people actually that Mr. Jameson and Mr. Tafua and the rest of the collective are actually back on Sportswire Radio 2 weeks from this coming Monday. So they're going to be back here. They're going to be talking about, I'm sure, a lot of topics, especially Mon Valley Pro Wrestling, especially the WVWF. And I think I want to show your match that you had there, that you and I were talking about there in Mon Valley Pro Wrestling, before we get to the WVWF, because there's a lot to talk about there at the WVWF, and I'm very excited about that. But let's get to that footage, why you aren't so happy with Joshua Kavad, and obviously, yeah, we'll certainly exchange some pleasantries, or maybe not there, but we are here now on Sportswire Radio, and we have the footage, and first of all, you've got to contend with the Monsters Division champion, that is Mr. R.K. Sawyer, and yeah, that's definitely somebody that you won't be, I'm sure, giving a preferred beverage to anytime soon.
My question would be, what beverages does a monster of his stature prefer? I'm rather lost on this particular subject.
Maybe blood, maybe it's things that we can't repeat on Sportswire. I would think. I mean, monsters, and they certainly have a way of doing things. Certainly not like the way you do things, undoubtedly.
Oh gosh, would he settle for a sangria? Maybe I could live with
I
that.
don't think that
Hmm.
RK Sawyer is settling for a sangria. I mean, I just don't think that that's going to happen. You may want to settle for that, but I certainly don't think that he is. And we'll put the Mon Valley Pro YouTube handle here in a minute for people to hit the sub button for them. We want to appreciate Mon Valley Pro for granting us the footage here
Hmm.
for the second time in 4 days here on Sportswire Radio. And you're about to come out here and you've got a triple threat. I mean, this is obviously these multi-man matches, and I mean, so what's going through your mind as we're about to see this match unfold?
Well, at this particular point, this is my second shot at that Monsters Division Championship, except it is, as you see now, Mr. Kavad yet again getting in my way instead of Master Day Jameson from before. No disrespect
Yes.
intended to either party, but be that as it may, that RK
Mm.
Sawyer at that particular time had something that, well, in yours truly's opinion, belonged to him. But obviously, circumstances being what they may, have other opinions, I suppose.
Well, you can certainly suppose, but there is Mr. Kavad, and obviously Mr. Kavad is quite the wrestler in his own right. So you've got your hands full. You've definitely got your hands full, and there is the sub button for Mon Valley Pro. So if you can, please join me in hitting the sub button for Mon Valley Pro. They're 8 subscribers away from 250, and you know the drill. Let's support those who support us. We got them 1 or 2 subs on Saturday's show. So I'm sure there's somebody out there that hasn't seen their YouTube page. But listen, you get to see both men come out, and that at least has to give you some type of advantage because they've come out. They've obviously got to stand there in the ring, and yeah, we do. I think I do see. I'll say I think Hammer Time was there, not with the hammer, but he was there somewhere around backstage. And we'll get to everybody here in the chat. And you're coming out. You're definitely coming out there, and you are not too pleased whatsoever there.
As I said before, I don't know what it is about being in Charleroi. Ugh. Even right
Mm.
now, I feel like I need a shower. But for the chance at championship glory that yours truly deserves, we do what we must.
Well, that's what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do that here, and you are coming out, and you've got your work cut out for you. I mean, listen, objectively speaking, you have your work cut out for you. You have 2 men that are obviously in stature big, and they certainly know what they need to do in the ring. And there is that championship. We know it's defended in multi-man matches, and we're about to see it. You're not even looking. There you go. Now you touch the belt. Yeah, now you touch it, and touch and go, and that was a great Pantera song, but we'll leave that at that. But there is RK, and I just I'm excited to see this and let everybody get their opinion here. And obviously, you don't seem to like those people too much there in Charleroi.
I don't like them, and they don't like me. But one person, especially, that I have tremendous respect for, but it's not exactly on my Christmas card list right now, is that demonic queen, or I'm sorry, the mother of all demons, even worse, Lilith. Her son
Oh,
Osmodeus owes me some money from poker, and I've yet to see one red cent, a rupee, a denier, a dollar, anything.
I
You
didn't
try
know
to
you
fuck
were
with
the
me.
poker player. I didn't know that you were the poker player, and I didn't know that you knew all those money and exchanges. I didn't know any of that, but I'm gonna certainly hope that for your sake and maybe their sake that you collect eventually some of that money with the holidays nearing.
That would be nice. I can't really expect a lot of courtesy from the demonic variety now, can I?
But you let your opponent start the match. So interesting strategy. In a triple
Mm.
threat match, you go to the outside, you let Kavad and Sawyer beat each other up. You're running around, and I mean, so Walk
Yeah,
me through the
speaking of
strategy
Lilith.
here. Usually it's un-Godrick Sandwell like, and you ate a clothesline for it.
Yeah, that Lilith decided to stick her nose where it really didn't belong, along with that. What is that? Is that a. I can't identify what that tall individual is. He's give me the heebie jeebies, too. Not
Wow.
quite to
Well,
the
you're
extent
getting
of
more than
Lilith,
the
but
heebie-jeebies
close.
right now because you just ran into a splash from a splash sandwich from R.K. Sawyer. So you certainly snapped, crackle, and popped. And Mr. Kavad obviously was able to get on his feet a little bit quicker than you were able to. And yeah, that's going to definitely hurt. But you caught yourself there a bit. I give you that much. And Mr. Kavad is looking at you. There. Now, wasn't some nice teamwork, some teamwork there. I guess that's a decent strategy, nevertheless.
Yeah, again, in spite of how I feel about Kavad, especially after this and from previous encounters,
You got some
I have
encounters with him. I'll leave that at that. You got some history with Joshua Kavad, no question.
indeed. I have nothing but the absolute highest of respect for his in-ring abilities. I seen very few that can match it. I'm trying to get close to it, a gentleman can admit, but well, maybe I won't match it. Maybe I'll try to exceed it at some point, but today is not the day. But tomorrow just might be.
Listen, I mean, we'll see what the future brings, but the future is not going to be in Mon Valley Pro with Joshua Kavad. So, nevertheless, for you to get back and get championship gold, it's not going to be with Joshua Kavad in the way. But right now, you guys seem to have some kind of working strategy here. Is that because of the strength that Mr. Sawyer has, and you figure you wear him down, you guys can beat each other up and figure out who the best man wins?
Well, that was certainly my thinking at the time. Sometimes, especially in a situation where you have an absolute monstrosity on one side and and an apostle on another, sometimes truly the enemy of my enemy, at least temporarily, is my friend.
Yep, that's a good point. No, listen, that is a good point. And obviously, right now you do have some nice little wrestling here there with Mr. Kavad. Obviously, going a little back and forth, and now Mr. Sawyer gets right back in there, and it's advantage for him. And he comes out, and he's not having it between you and Mr. Kavad and yourself. And but you guys are working well so far in this match. We're early on into the match, and I gotta say, it's a smart strategy.
I do confess there are times I wish things could between me and Mr. Kavad could be a little bit different.
Mm.
But unfortunately, on that particular night, and obviously from a few days ago forward, that's going to be a moot wish. Since well, we can get to that part of it a little bit later. But as for at that particular moment, take out the bigger foe, and
Oh,
well,
you went
I
after
handle my
Kavad there right now. You just hit him right in the face, and now, well, that didn't seem to work too well for you.
It looks like at that particular exchange, it worked just well enough, but unfortunately not enough for this gentleman's preferred.
Well, that's obviously point taken. And listen, you're showing off your own ability, no question. Your wrestling ability
Mm.
is definitely right up there, and you're showing it and some right now. So you gotta like the pace. You may have started a little slow, but right now you kind of are working a Godrick Sandwell pace to be able to give you an opportunity and get yourself in position to win that Monsters Division Championship.
A match that, frankly, I believe I should have won, but
We're gonna
again,
get to that. We're gonna get to that, and if we're about 4 or 5 minutes away from that, so we're gonna certainly, get to that. But right now, listen, I mean, this is where you want to be. You got the incumbent down, and you're obviously working on Mr. Kavad, and you got both men down, and this is where you excel. This is exactly where you want to be at this moment.
hmm I do remember this quite well.
Yeah,
It's like
well,
hmm.
there
It's
you
like I
go.
said, I just wish things between me and Kavad could be a little bit different, but again, be that as it may.
Uh, And there's Mr. Sawyer, who's, for whatever reason, fighting with the referee. I mean, an uncharacteristic strategy here. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but then again, who really knows what RK Sawyer is thinking? And I'm not going to be one to tell him to think, but Mr. Kavad definitely makes Mr. Sawyer pay for that. And smart move by the veteran Kavad, who's obviously been a world champion. He knows what the deal is and what to do. And yeah, you're definitely eating your own power from Mr. Kavad, and Sawyer right now is in a difficult state, and Kavad is got everybody where he wants him, and there he goes with that some offense, and Sawyer is down on his feet somewhat. He's somewhat down, and well, you're going to be down next, and it looks like this could be the end of it. But 1, 2, and yeah, not going to be there. Yep, not there, because we got still RK Sawyer lurking around, and Mr. Kavad is working on you, and he's working on some suplexes, and it's 1, 2. Nope, not quite. Not going to get it there. Godrick Sandwell's fought too hard to lose it, especially with those fans and how he feels about them in Charleroi. But and there is RK Sawyer, who is just, I mean, everybody's got to look at him, pay attention. And yes, to that fan, turn around, fan. Yeah, good point. But I'll tell you what, that was a nice little some type of the Death Valley driver there of some sort, if I'm not mistaken. It was a nice offense. Kavad's got plenty of offense there. He's got the offense. He's got exactly what he wants to do in this match. The tempo went from you a few minutes ago, but listen, Sawyer has been lurking. I have been paying attention to him, Godrick, and you have been down. And Mr. Kavad, well, yeah, he's gonna meet. Yeah, that was a bad idea. That was certainly a bad idea. But he's fighting. He's a fighter. That's what we know about Joshua Kavad. And I'll tell you what, that was a nice little mini Frankensteiner there. Kavad showing off what he can do best in the ring. And I think there's that fan that says Hamilton. And I'll tell you what, he's got plenty of offense here. Plenty of offense there with some kind of RKO into a stunner. And there you go. But you know what, though, Godrick, you are just down and out. You are down and out, but you were getting up. You're finally getting up here after a few minutes, and hopefully for you, without spoiling it. But yeah, that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, that didn't go over as well as I had planned.
Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. Yeah, he's just gonna. Yeah, I mean, he's just gonna basically wear you down and have you in a very, very difficult position. And I wish no man or woman in this sport would be in that position on the bottom ropes, basically being choked out. You are being choked out on those ropes there, and yeah, there is basically your own version of the lowdown, and there's not much you could really do about that at that moment. And then there is Mr. Kavad, who's about to meet the same fate, and you are just, it's gonna basically leave a mark. 2, 3, ring the bell. Yeah, I mean, you tried, but close, but no cigar. But you met 2 lowdowns. Yeah, that was D'Lo Brown's finishing move. You better recognize RK Sawyer. And you recognize him as the Monsters Division champion. And it was a hard-fought match, good match, but I guess that'll maybe give you motivation for some season's beatings coming up here in less than 3 weeks.
Motivation, indeed, I will say that. And some part of me is kind of hoping I run into Mr. Sawyer at said season's beatings.
Well, you know what? You're not running into Joshua Kavad. That's for sure. But for you, unfortunately, you met your fate. You met your demise. And we can certainly see you angry because you had championship gold in your sights. You definitely had control of that match for quite a bit. But you and Mr. Kavad got in each other's way. And RK Sawyer, with the strength and the monster that he is, used his finisher on you and him. And Mr. Kavad, obviously, well, he met his demise, and you're getting up and you're looking at Mr. Kavad, and that's going to be pretty much all she wrote this. So we'll take this off the screen. If you're here, hit the sub button for Mon Valley Pro, and I would really hope that you do that. Okay, I want to take this off the screen, and I want to talk about somebody else that you had a match with, which I definitely I'm excited because I'm really fascinated because I heard Peanut Butter and Jealous say some good things about you, but yet ironically, right after that match you had with Mr. Kavad and Mr. Sawyer, you wrestled a member of the Black Sheep Society Club and one Tyler Grayson. That ring a bell?
That's right, I did. I do recall this.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're going to show some of that match here before we get to the WVWF in the chat. So here we are, and Tyler Grayson's a man that's certainly experienced in his own right. And I fast forwarded a little bit because of entrances and time, and he's a man that's also wrestled a guy I know very well, and Bill Bain. Bill Bain has been a topic here on Sportswire Radio in the past, but talk to me about what's going on here in this match between you and a Black Sheep Society Club member, Tyler Grayson at Pros of Wrestling.
Well, first of all, I took that post to my noggin. That's even giving me a headache just watching this yet again. Oh, Lord have mercy on my soul and my head for that matter.
I could see that. Yeah, your head. Hopefully, your head will, be in one state.
Yeah. Thankfully, I've had a little bit of time to recover from this atrocity. But be that as it may, it was interesting when I saw Mr. Grayson on my lexicon. Somebody that I've heard through certain grapevines has been interested in locking horns with yours truly for quite some
He shook
time.
hands with you just there. He did shake hands with you, and like I said, he's definitely been an experienced grappler. He's definitely done a number of different things in different places. He's definitely a name that we spoke about on Saturday's show with Loveless and Hammer. They're in the same group, as I said, the Black Sheep Society Club. And, he's got some offense. I'll tell you what, he's definitely got some instant offense. Reminds me of a 6-man, the NBA coming off the bench that can give you some quick points in a matter of a few minutes. That's what he's doing there right now.
Yeah. Something I will also not take away from Tyler Grayson now or ever is the fact that
that chop did hurt. I could hear it from here without the volume on.
Yeah. One thing I will say, he's quite a competitor. I know he's been to many, many a land, just like yours truly.
Yes.
And well,
and it's funny. I will observe that Courtney and Jen have different opinions of the Grayson Nation. It's kind of funny to see that here on Sportswire. People have different opinions of the Grayson Nation, but I'm gonna leave that at that. And we're watching some shades of the late great Eddie Guerrero here. Very impressive offense, and you'll have to find your way back out of it. We are here with the gentleman of exquisite caliber, Godrick Sandwell. We're talking about what he's been up to here the last month. And if you're here, hit the sub button for us. If you're also here, hit the sub button for places like Mon Valley Pro Wrestling, the WVWF, Pros of Wrestling, Mega Pro Wrestling, Facebook. Check everybody out. And we'll get to you in the chat in about 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, you, I can see that from here. Godrick, I could almost see you almost screaming from here, even without the volume off. Yeah, that offense is definitely going to hurt. And he's got off to a strong start. I mean, that's, you never want to get off to a slow start, but your opponent is just giving it everything he's got right now.
Yes, he is. He's quite a competitor. I'll never take that away from him. But yours truly also has a trick or two up his sleeves.
Well, that's what we're going to find out, because I got a chance to catch some of it. And obviously, there it is. There's your shades of what you have up your sleeve. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. As much as a gentleman doesn't prefer these type of tactics, sometimes one must do what one must do.
Well, a big topic here. We spoke about this yesterday on Sportswire, and we spoke about it certainly when Peanut Butter and Jealous were here, even Sunday's show with the resident rock star Sean Jovi, is that by any means necessary. By any means necessary. So that's, what you're going to have to do. And sometimes that's what it's about in this sport. That, that's wins and losses are about by any means necessary,
Well, should you send me into battle to win a war, then, well, one must do.
Listen, I mean, in war, all fair is love and war, right? That's the old adage. All is fair in love and war. And I mean, that's just ultimately what it comes down to. But you are kicking rather gingerly your opponent, Mr. Grayson. And you met a a punch to the chin there. You definitely met it there, but you come back there with your own offense, and obviously you're using now what you do best, and that's a nice little running
Mm.
job there. You're very, very, very well executed. And 1, 2, not quite there. Not going to
Yeah,
finish
not
it.
quite.
Not quite. We'll I'm sure see more offense though over these next few minutes, and we're getting some of that. And you got them where you want them right now. You're doing your mat ground game. You're doing your arsenal. You have your
Mhm.
ground and pound, as we've said in the past about you. And now you have Mr. Grayson in an uncomfortable position.
As well as he should be, even being the leader of the Grayson Nation. How droll.
Well, obviously, as we stated, there are two sides of the coin to that. One for the Grayson Nation, and someone else not in favor of the Grayson Nation, and that's the beauty of wrestling. That's the beauty of our sport. But obviously, right now, you guys are having a very intensive match right now, and you guys are beating each other up. That's what I can certainly say here before we get to the chat here in about 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes, yes, yes. Elbows and Europeans and
Yep.
the fists meet the sinew and the sinew meet the fist. It's
Knuckle sandwiches, elbow grease. I mean, yeah, this is definitely a war. This is definitely a old-fashioned match, and you're getting ready to go
oh
up to the high. You were literally getting ready to go up to the high rent district, and that
nah.
yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say you were going up, but then you thought better of it. But there you go there. Nice reverse neck breaker there. That was again going back to the old European offense. Reminds me of my guest coming on here next Wednesday afternoon from Europe in the UK, the Tribal Cheese, who makes his return to Sportswire. We'll have to probably talk about some of that traditional offense, but nevertheless, you certainly have got a tempo that you want, and you have a tempo that right now is putting Mr. Grayson in the position that you were earlier, sir.
Indeed, so sometimes the tables turn on just the right foe, and well, Tyler Grayson, it wasn't personal; it's just business. But when I'm in the business of putting a hurting on somebody, well, a gentleman's got to do
Well, that's
it.
like I said, that's the name of the game. Listen, that is the theme. I say it all the time, by any means necessary. And yeah, there you go with some more offense. Definitely some quick offense, some quick striking offense. That's going to definitely leave a mark, but not quite. I mean, obviously, you went for a pin. You could have maybe kept on your opponent a little bit more, but hey, listen, you felt you were in the right spot. But you're talking to the referee here. Tell me what and why are you talking to that referee there for a minute?
There was something suspicious about that referee, but I couldn't quite put my finger. I thought maybe he was just maybe about a quarter of a count off. I just wanted to
Mm.
incentivize him, maybe
You're a veteran.
encourage him.
Going back to your opponent and just continue to wear him down, ground and pound your opponent to get that eventual victory. I mean, that's I would have just continued onward and upward.
Well, be that as it may, hopefully the referee got my message, and as you saw that reverse DDT that I laid on that rapscallion from the Grayson Nation.
Well, not quite. Still didn't get the job done yet. Still didn't get that job done yet. But you are motioning that this one's over. You are motioning and you're doing obviously, but those fans don't seem to be having it. They don't seem to be having it that it's over. And you are giving Mr. Grayson an opportunity to get back up and get back up on his feet. And we'll see what that will entail shortly. But nevertheless, Mr. Grayson is going to try to give it one last push, one last college try, and he's going up to the high rent district. That's what he does best, that instant offense. Like I said, he's like a six-man in the NBA, comes off the bench and he can make some plays, and that's what Mr. Grayson did to get himself back in this match. We're watching Tyler Grayson versus Godrick Sandwell from Pros of Wrestling here last month. If you see or hit the sub button for them and Tyler Grayson's YouTube page. But Grayson gets up and he's waiting. He's now delivering the same offense you gave him 4 or 5 minutes ago, and he's going to try everything he can there. And you met a knee to the face there. That was a knee to the face, and and you were definitely feeling the effects of his high instant powered offense. His arsenal is definitely varied, and that's what makes him the competitor that he is. And he's definitely in the zone. He's got the fans behind him, and he's waiting for you to get up. And you are dragging yourself back up here. We'll see what this leads to, and we're waiting for it. Turn around, and can Mr. Grayson lift you up? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3. He got the tights though. 1, 2, 3. And the veteran, Godrick Sandwell, let's show that tape again because Mr. Grayson's definitely off guard because he thought this match was, well, going to be in his favor. And there we go. We see it. It's about to be over. And then there it is. He's got the tights. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Godrick Sandwell. You grabbed the tights to get a victory where you were about to surely meet your demise.
Well, last time I checked, all I saw was a 1, 2, 3 in favor of yours truly.
And the fans do not seem to be pleased at all whatsoever. And, one more time, we'll show that footage because certainly, like I said, Godrick Sandwell was about to be defeated. And yet he finds a way, snatching the jaws of victory from defeat by Tyler Grayson. And he gets a victory there by, well, it's legal. It's in the books by any means necessary. And he grabbed his tights and he got a victory. And he gets out of Dodge. They're pros of wrestling. And the Grayson Nation's definitely not too pleased. The Grayson Nation's definitely got they're there, and you are going off there, and you are certainly a happy man running out of Dodge, and obviously some are happy, some are not, but you got a victory. I guess maybe we'll see you back there again, I would hope.
Oh, if Pros of Wrestling should have me back, I would be more than happy too. But as far as the Philistines of White Oak are concerned, they mean not. Now, there was a couple of fans there that did show some appreciation for yours truly. I was actually astonished by that. Maybe there is hope. Maybe there is hope yet.
I said it yesterday on the show. Hope springs eternal. But if you want to see that match again and other matches from Tyler Grayson, give him a sub because we used his channel to air the match. The least I can do is give him a sub, and who knows? Maybe we'll see what the future brings there. But we're here with Godrick Sandwell, and I have a lot to get to here on the other side of the chat. So let me do that because there were some people here. I was here first, but that's okay. We don't have to say hello to me because no one wants to say hello to me. Zilla's here first. She wanted to say hello, and as I stated, Jennifer wanted to say hello. Obviously, Jennifer, and she excited to know that you're back in Mon Valley Pro, but she'll be calling you Hamilton, not Godrick.
Of course she will.
Well, I figured that, but obviously, maybe she could give more insights to Peanut Butter and Jealous this time in winning, and maybe winning those tag team championships, and maybe even those that were dressed up like Peanut Butter and Jealous a few weeks back. You weren't there, but that was.
Oh heavens! I remember seeing the pictures. How droll! Although I must admit, I am jealous of Peanut Butter and Jealous.
Oh, you know what? Certainly has time certainly changed. Once upon a time that I never would have thought I'd hear that, but nevertheless, that is the case. And I want to say hello to Mr. Hubie Jenkins. And Hubie has got his eyes set on talent. And Hubie and the gang are going to be here December 6th. I'm making the decision here, the executive decision here live on Sportswire. They'll be here right before their show, No Boundaries, in Ohio. And he wanted to say hi and looking at talent, which is great. We appreciate Hubie, and I definitely look forward to that. And I'm doing well, Zilla. Yes, it's me. And happy early Thanksgiving Day to everybody on the show and in the chat. Yes,
right.
Absolutely. Gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving. Godrick, a few weeks ago, I actually saw so many turkeys that I couldn't quite pardon a turkey or two. But even where I live in New York City, there was just so many turkeys, and I, had to post it on my TikTok and my Instagram, and people were just in, utter disbelief in just how many turkeys there were. But nevertheless, we'll hopefully you'll enjoy the turkey that you're having with, I'm sure, your preferred beverage. And speaking of
indeed.
people, though, that are giving you a mixed reaction, Daniel Tafua, man, you have quite a history with, in a few places. Daniel Tafua.
Yes, we do. And hello to you too, Mr.
There you go. Now you got into it. That was good. That was good. That was definitely a good one there. And yes, Daniel Tafua will certainly be quite a topic here on Sportswire, and he'll be back here with the collective gang in 2 weeks. Yes. Hello. And Jennifer again wanted to state hello, Hamilton. So there you have it there.
Indeed.
Yes. Yeah, I figured that. Who else we have here in the chat? And well, I answered that for you already, and so hopefully you'll be there to enjoy it. So I look forward to,
Yes, I will. I will be back to entertain the modding vapid Philistines of Charleroi.
Well, we'll move on to some more comments. What's that
Thank
I
you.
hear? An open spot at the JoJo at I Am the Champions on February the 1st. So who knows? Maybe right price and the right deal could be made. Who knows? You just never know who could show up when it comes to the EWA and Godrick Sandwell. And I was trying to find my video. I actually have my video. I do want to show my video with the turkeys. We'll get to more comments. I found it here. And there is Dave Jameson. We had pointed out that he had Mr. Kavad's retirement match, and obviously you have mixed feelings about that, certainly after what we just saw earlier here on Sportswire Radio, understandably so. And I'm excited to see Dave back on here in 2 weeks, December 15th. Very, very excited to see the collective here, and I'm sure you will be a topic. Nevertheless, you will most certainly be a topic when it comes to the collective, and we're excited to see the gang all back. Ample the Destroyer, Daniel Tafua, maybe even the Banana Man Lestat. So great stuff. And by the way, this is the video I wanted to show real quick, and you might wonder why I don't eat turkey. That's why I don't eat turkey. Even in New York City, we had that many turkeys. Yeah, literally, that's the case. So there can't be no other way, to quote my guest coming on here. Okay, we'll get to some more comments. Hit the sub button for Mon Valley Pro on YouTube. Let's get them some more subs. Skulls the Soul Hunter is out there. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you, Skulls. Good to see you, my friend. Everybody's having a great day. And did you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar that he became Cookie Monster, meaning R.K. Sawyer? That's one way to look at it, I suppose. But Daniel Tafua gave us some type of emoji. And he also wanted to say, you're not lying about needing a shower from being out there in Charleroi. So what am I missing there?
Somebody understands.
Is it that bad in Charleroi? I mean, I'm sorry. Jennifer is out there. She's there all the time. I know Courtney knows a thing or two about Mon Valley Pro. Is it that bad? You need a shower from Charleroi?
Well, I suppose it depends on who exactly you are asking. If it's Mr. Tafua saying something similar to this gentleman, then perhaps some notice should be made.
Well, you know what? I want to give a big shout out because Mon Valley just got 3 subs just now. So we're 5 away from 50. There's a bunch of people here in the chat. So if you haven't been here before and you're seeing Mon Valley, go give them a sub. It's the holiday season, and most of you have gotten enough gifts, I'm sure. So or you're gonna get enough gifts. So give a gift back, and while you're at it, hit the sub button for Hubie in the EWA's page. Give them a sub. Give Tyler Grayson a sub, even though Godrick Sandwell is not a big fan of him. But it'll come back in handy here. Let me get to some more comments. Johnny Velocity. Speaking of double champions, a man who will be here back on Friday about 9 o'clock Eastern time. Speaking of the EWA, wanted to say good evening. Thank you. And speaking of somebody I want to be talking about shortly, probably the person you like most to interview you, Miss Courtney Wood. Obviously, Courtney has obviously done a bio on you. She interviews you all the time there in Parkersburg, and she's the best. And I'm sure you would much rather be talking to her tonight. But nevertheless,
no, I wouldn't go so far.
I was kidding. But we love Courtney. I do owe Courtney an appearance on Sportswire. I also owe Courtney for her documentary on the Raven effect. But she had a nice little bio she did a nice little review on it on the Raven documentary. Really, really well done. And check out the Raven documentary on Amazon Prime. At least he didn't try to pay you in candy cane. Is that a thing? I thought it was a hot dog and a handshake, right? Isn't it a hot dog and a handshake? But he's referring to the match with you and Mr. Sawyer. But nevertheless, D'Lo Brown is a good trainer at 3PWA in California. Yes, he's in California these days.
Okay.
Yeah,
I might have to make a venture out to the West Coast if that's the
well,
case.
you know what? I would certainly, I'm sure, like everybody else, love to see that. I told you, Courtney wouldn't be a fan of Grayson Nation. Thank you, Hubie, for subbing. Also, like I said, Miss Jennifer likes Grayson Nation. But well, she's definitely a fan of you as Hamilton. But that's just saying. I mean, my niece saw Hamilton. My niece saw Hamilton here about a month and a half ago, but I don't think she's referring to the play. And yes, hello, Zilla. Speaking of people that'll be here Saturday night, my friend Mr. AJ Harrison, the Don of Combat, is a good question for you. Hey, Mr. Sandwell, you've done wrestling. You ever think about getting into any type of combat? He is a mixed martial artist in his own right, and he was just asking you if that's something you'd like to do sometime.
Well, I do confess that I'm not the biggest fan of fighting for sport. I do fight for the right reasons. So, if one must engage, I do have a little bit of experience in that foray as well.
Well, I don't have any experience in that, but I do have experience in is telling people to hit the sub button for everybody else's YouTube page. So AJ's got a YouTube page. He's also an actor. He's done some other work. He's got an IMDb page, and he's been on Sportswire a few times of late. So check out his content and give him a sub. And we appreciate AJ for being here. He'll be back here Saturday night, 5:00 Eastern time. So let's get to some more comments. Yes, we appreciate AJ. We love seeing him here. And also, there's a good one from Courtney, which I think we can all agree upon. It is awesome to see you debuting in many companies. And I know that you were out there in Mega Pro Wrestling this past weekend against one Kevin Tyler. And, sorry about the outcome there.
Well, that's quite all right. Mr. Kevin Tyler's been around the block more than once or twice, even compared to yours truly. So it's a little hard to stack up against that experience and quite a size advantage, I must admit. Plus,
I did see that. And I did.
Plus that Joe Brody running around, causing a muck.
Well, certainly we do have a YouTube page that Courtney has. Go give her a sub. She's got a lot of match content, especially from the WVWF, and we'll put it on in the background here for a few minutes to let people get a chance to see it and such. But while we played with some of the chat, so we'll put it in the background, and you can see the kind of competitor that Kevin is, and like I said, hit the sub button for Courtney. And who else do we have out there tonight? And we have a good question from Jen. She would love to see you at MVP against Harley Morris. I have seen some Harley Morris stuff there in MVP, and that's a good one there from Jen.
This is not going to be something I say very often either, but you know something, Miss Jennifer? I agree with you. If that handsome one would like to step up to the gallant gentleman of exquisite caliber, he's more than welcome.
Well, obviously that's a interesting thing, and we'll have some more MVP talk here coming up on Sportswire in the next week or so. So we'll have to see there. Thank you, Jen. And speaking of people that put the turkey up, the Hall of Fame monitor of Sportswire Radio, Mr. Justin Parsley, who wanted to say hello. The Hall of Fame monitor, I'm sure, will be a topic coming up the next few days, and he did want to say hello in his own way. I guess maybe he's out hunting for turkey right now. I don't know. I mean, if you're out there in the chat, you are hunting for turkey. We do appreciate that, and hopefully you got the right weapons. What do you hunt the turkey with? Is it a bow and arrow? Is it a shotgun? I wouldn't know. I'm in New York City. I just showed you the turkeys, but we're turkeys, literally. Yes, hello to Justin. Follow Tyler's page. You can see more of his content. And speaking of people I haven't seen in a while, that is the shot caller from the hauler, the man that loves my war chant, Mr. Hillbilly Tilly. You missed it at the beginning of the show. And speaking of people, that'll be a topic here shortly. When we get to that, the WWF, one half of the tag team champions, the rare bird, Chris Phoenix, a man that you share eye to eye with on some things, and he wanted to say hello, and he'll be here before the 13th of December. I know you'll be there at some point in the month of December, but he did want to say hello at the least.
Mr. Phoenix, an honor as always.
He's been having his problems with the draw. What do you think about that there real quick? The cease and desist having their troubles with the draw. And I believe one of the now teammates of theirs, you just wrestled. You not just wrestled, but you were actually trying to get a match with James Enoch, the Chemical Valley Gunslinger. You were in the ring not too long ago to get your crack at a hybrid championship. And what's your thoughts there on the whole situation that cease and desist has on their hands with the draw?
Well, last time I checked, it was cease and desist that won the tag team titles from the draw, so I can understand the issue there. So,
how about Nate Steele? I mean, Nate Steele certainly turned the tables there. What was your thoughts there?
next
comment.
I don't have the words. I really don't.
I think that's what a lot of people feel. And by the way, the draw are going to be here 2 weeks from Friday, right before Winter Wasteland. They're going to talk about that. They're going to talk about what's on their mind. And Wyatt Black is going to be when Wyatt Black is on Sportswire, he's going to always have something to say. And he's going to certainly talk about what happened between him and you. Oh, you'll be busy that day. I got you. You'll be busy that day. I got you. Always certainly an honest man you are, Godrick Sale, despite what some people say about you at Charleroi. Yes, hello there. Hit the sub button for Mon Valley Pro. And also, speaking of people, there you go. And he says he'll see you there soon. Double champion. But that may be good or bad. What do you think about that? Maybe seeing the Rare Bird and the Hype Man, the WVWF Tag Team Champions in Mon Valley Pro. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. I would certainly look forward to seeing both of those individuals. I would like to think they're still my friends no matter where I go.
Yeah. But what if they don't see the way you see things there in Charleroi? There is that possibility that we don't know that yet. Obviously, we don't know. I mean, we certainly will have to find out. I mean, the guys will be here and they'll be tuning in, I am sure, with anticipation of what the draw says about them on the 12th of December. And I'm sure we'll try to give them a shot as well on here before then. And also, Courtney wanted to point out, only Courtney, that's why Courtney's the best, because she knows things that I would know nothing about. To her knowledge, you were very skilled with a katana, and I would not have guessed that. I would have certainly had not had that on my bingo card, but apparently Courtney's the best.
That is actually a correct statement. I am a little bit known as a bladesman. I'm not one to be too braggadocious about such things, but I am guilty as charged in this regard.
Well, we're going to certainly say that we'll go to the next comment. Hit the sub button for Courtney. Check her page out. And thank you, Zilla. I appreciate you liking the war chants. I am excited for more people. Yeah, well, Mark Farner of Grand Funk Railroad liked the war chant, and he sang "We're an American Band." So Grand Funk Railroad broke the Beatles' attendance record. But let's not go there. But yes, I knew Courtney would say that. And Wyatt was supposed to have been here to celebrate his 18th birthday, but unfortunately he had a scheduling conflict. But we'll get him back on. He's definitely here on the 12th, but that's okay. I'm sure Courtney was rather happy that Wyatt wasn't here, but he'll make up for it. All right, I got to get to the WVWF. I know I have to, but I still got to give you something. It is the holidays, and I can assure you it's not something from Mon Valley Pro Wrestling's fans or Grayson Nation, but I know I do this all the time, but it's your day here today on Sports. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 11 and the irony, right? 11-25-25, right? 11-25-25, right? The irony of that. So I always think it's irony. Remember when they used to do like 12-12-12 and 13-13? We don't do them anymore, but it was always nice. But too bad we can't do 25-25-25. I don't know who will be here for that, but nevertheless, probably not. But nevertheless, give Godrick a follow on his Facebook page. We'll give you the physical copy when we're off the air. And now I want to talk about, for the remaining minutes, what's going on with you and Phoebe Harper. You came on here over a month ago, and we're talking a lot about this dynamic. You guys were in action here last month, or was actually 2 weeks ago in Parkersburg. Actually, it is kind of last month now at this point, but going into what's ahead here in December. And I mean, can we figure this out? Phoebe still seems to be, I don't know, fill us in, because like I said, you and Phoebe, it still seems like it's a John Hughes movie to me.
That might be a apropos way to describe it. Um, I still really don't have too many words to be able to describe the relationship between her and I. I will say, however, that the last time that yours truly was able to make it down to Parkersburg to face those damnation demons or apparitions or
Yes.
hired guns or part kings, part straighters, part mans, part Somerset, however many parts that man straighter has, but be that as it may, I have to admit, at the end of the day, with Miss Harper, I was really impressed with her. Actually, it seems like she's gained a step or two since I was last able to get there, and here I
Hmm.
am thinking either I'm getting old or I can't even figure out where the time goes. But
Nah,
also, be that as it may,
well, I mean, Phoebe's certainly been having her problems with the Phantom, and you alluded to that, and I have Courtney's cam from that match, and I mean, obviously, I'll fast forward it a little bit, but I mean, Damnation's a team we've talked a lot about. Cease and Desist have talked about them. The Collective are gonna be here on the 15th. They're gonna talk about them. I mean, the draw, they're not gonna be bothered by it, but I mean, but this is a team that's obviously been causing some fits for a bunch of you.
yeah. So I've gathered, which is part of the reason that I had returned is, well, despite our history, of course, as everybody knows, it doesn't change the fact that you go after one of my associates, no matter what the case is, no matter where it is,
Yeah.
I will find them one way
Mhm.
or another. Whether I have to go through the gates of paradise to find allies or to find admittance, whether I have to have my conversations with the noble Salahuddin and get to Satan himself,
And even
I
if
will find them.
Even if Phoebe's not talking to you, and still certainly, you know.
Uh, our yeah, while our communication might be a little bit light, shall we say, it doesn't change the
I
fact
think
that
it's safe to say that you and Phoebe still aren't on the same time zone.
uh, yeah, you could say that. Again, she comes from one world, I come from something much different. But in that squared circle, I don't know. There's something there, and I'm just
Well, her offense is definitely, listen, she's definitely a phenomenal competitor. You know firsthand. You've been in that ring with her, so you know what she brings to the table, and she wrestles against anybody. It doesn't matter who they are, and she puts up quite a fight. But your job is, as Courtney was saying the last time you were there in Parkersburg, less than 2 weeks ago, was your job is to keep her safe there from damnation.
hmm. Should I have to take on a protector role, then that is what I will do. But I think, Reverend Bryce, you might be onto something. Maybe that's what piques my interest. Maybe maybe it's quite literally the courage, even under the most ceremonious or unceremonious of fire, whether it's facing an apparition or whether it's facing a Samoan nightmare like Tabua. Doesn't really matter. I have to admit, the fact that she simply does not back down. End of story. I have to admit, you might be onto something. You might be
Onto
onto
something,
something.
onto what, that maybe your role is to protect Phoebe Harper from damnation, and those that we know that Phoebe is definitely someone that is valued, especially by someone like Courtney and others, and maybe that's what you're referring to. Is that what I'm sort of speculating?
That to me at the moment is unclear.
Unclear.
But rest assured, the time comes that the stars align when it's meant to be, and I see the signs once again. I go back to WVWF and I see Miss Harper in any type of danger. Godrick Sandwell will be there.
That sounds like a protector. That sounds exactly what my speculation was leading me to assume, that you are maybe wanting to protect Miss Harper from those that may seek to give her harm or bring harm to her in a WVWF, like let's say Damnation or anyone else that may look to do that and look to harm her, and that's what that sounds to me like the definition of a protector is. Maybe you
Then
care for
perhaps
Miss Harper more. Maybe you care for Miss Harper more than even you realize and such. I mean, yes, you have been brought together with her because of your competitive spirit. And obviously, yes, she's a phenomenal competitor, and we're watching her hold her own. We even go back to months ago, and she, some say, should have had the hybrid championship, a championship you most recently competed to be a number one contender for. So there's no question that in the ring, I mean, you're bonded by opponents, you're bonded by your competitive spirit, but it seems to me like whether maybe more than you realize, you are maybe looking to be a protector of Phoebe Harper.
that could be. And there's also a part of me that just I want to make sure that she has her fair chance because I'm well aware of the draw and their numbers. I'm well aware of Damnation and their numbers. And I respect the collective. We've had our run ins, but it's been nothing but cordial to my knowledge. But even the collective and their numbers. And unfortunately, with my duties taking me all over the place, as you know, as she
I know
knows, and
we
everybody
put Pros
knows.
Wrestling, Mega Pro Wrestling, Mon Valley, but
Mhm.
with maybe you taking on this protector role and what you guys have recently done to Damnation, I had asked you the last time you were here on Sportswire was championship gold and tag team championship gold. And I know gold is always what we compete for in this circuit. And I know the tag division, the WVWF, is as deep as any companies and is anywhere out there. And certainly as deep as any company you've competed in. And I have to think that with this recent success, maybe that leads on to that thought of gold eventually, right?
I would relish that idea. And unlike, I'm not knocking cease and desist in any sort of fashion because
You said
the
they were your
fact is,
friends so long. You said they were friends.
that's right. But because they're friends, they're actually also quite stand-up guys. They're not going to rely on numbers. They're not going to rely
Right.
on
We've talked about
subterfuge.
that
They're going to
with
be in
them.
our
Yes.
face, and I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
Yep. We've talked a lot about that here with them. They've been here multiple times, and we know the numbers game that they've been fighting. I mean, against the draw. I mean, the draw has certainly not been in their favor, but they still keep fighting. And that's obviously like you. You've always been a fighter, whether some people like it or not. And Phoebe's a fighter too. And Phoebe is somebody that she competes. It doesn't matter to who it is and what size advantage they have and what they bring to the table stylistically. Phoebe wants to compete. Phoebe wants to go, and she's certainly come a long way. And she's one of the rising stars, not just in the WVWF, but anywhere. And you're obviously a fighter. You have been fighting, and you'll fight anybody. You have said it many times on this platform over the past year and a half. You will fight anybody. Doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter where. Maybe that's the common thing. And maybe at this point you don't even have to say so much to Phoebe because deep down you want to be her protector, but really you both compete. You both compete no matter what the odds are, no matter what people say, what people think, and who your competitor is based on size, by style, and just the numbers game.
Somehow I think you might be right. Maybe it is truly just that simple. It's just a simple recognition of I can't really say a kindred spirit because that doesn't seem quite appropriate.
Yeah,
She doesn't strike me
yeah.
as the type for that conversation
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't think you and Phoebe are exactly kindred spirits here. I
Mm.
don't necessarily, with much respect as I have for you, but even as much respect as I have for Phoebe, even though I've never met Phoebe here on Sportswire, and I think there would be people that might want to see Phoebe one day on Sportswire. I don't think that you and Phoebe are kindred spirits by
No.
any stretch of the imagination, good sir.
No, I would concur with that statement, but just because that's not the case, it doesn't change the respect. It doesn't change the fact that maybe I see a part of me in her, and I don't want that to go to waste, and I don't want her getting hurt taking on a challenge that she's not quite ready for at that particular time. So if a protector I must be, then a protector I will be.
And that's
And
what you are. You want people in many ways to join that gallantry with you. And that's you're on that fight. And I think I got what I needed. That you do kind of acknowledge that you might want to protect Phoebe Harper. And that might be something that makes a lot of sense, especially with the landscape in the WVWF. And when you're there, Phoebe can be safe. And Courtney asked you that question. She asked that to you, and I think I got the answer. She probably knew it before I did, but the hype man wants to remind you that we welcome any challenge. We will drag our challengers into deep water like we've done so many times before. Wouldn't want it any other way.
well, Mr. Lasers, I will say this: deep waters is a foray that this gentleman has been in many a time, and will do so again, especially if you're interested in putting those tag team titles on the line. You just name your time, you name your place, and I can
Well,
promise
first
you the
they've got
stars
the
will
big
align.
main event. They've got the big 8-man tag to get through. We know that they've got to get through that first, and they've certainly had their hands full with the draw. And I know that you're going to be back in the WVWF very soon, and that might
Mhm.
be something to see. But in the meantime, obviously the WVWF returns to action December the 13th in the Richardson Building, 325 7th Street. I have that address. Just basically remember like my own home addresses at this point. It's 325 7th Street. Tickets are just $10. Door open at 6. Bell rings 7 o'clock. Mary takes the videos on Facebook. It'll be Winter Wasteland. You're going to see a slew of your favorites there. Also, I got to mention, happy birthday to the Double L. It's the Double L's birthday. Got to give
That's
him a
right. Happy
huge
birthday,
happy
good
birthday.
sir.
I want to give a big happy birthday to the lovable Lester. Of course, our general manager. He has had his hands full here in the WVWF over the past several months. He's been here, of course, on Sportswire Radio, and I definitely want to wish him a happy birthday. I hope he's enjoying his birthday. Hopefully, it's a stress-free birthday. I know he certainly had his hands full with Wyatt Black and his hands full with James Enoch in the drawer and everybody else out there. And I would certainly hope that he will have a very, very happy birthday, and certainly the best is yet to come. And obviously the 4-on-4 match that we're going to see. We're going to talk about the team WVW first, the draw on the 13th. And we're also going to see Maverick. Maverick's going to be back on Sportswire Radio. He's wrestling Michael Everything. That's going to be an interesting match.
Okay.
And a lot of great stuff ahead. Obviously, a lot of great stuff. And I have no doubt that we'll see cease and desist out there coming up. And, before we get to closing thoughts, is there anything else you want to plug or talk about that we haven't had a chance yet to?
Yeah, there's not really much else for me to really say at this particular moment, except I'm looking forward to closing the year out on the highest note absolutely possible. But where that's going to be, I have no idea just yet.
Well, who knows? I mean, listen, the future certainly brings us some interesting scenarios, and life throws curveballs. And you are going to be in action here for sure on the 13th at Seasons Beatings and from Mon Valley Pro. And I know you'll be back out there in the WVWF on the 20th. So we'll have to see what it entails there. And it's also your day once again. And you can check out some of Godrick's matches most recently on Courtney's pages, one against Kevin Tyler Grayson, his page. He got the W on that one, and also Pros of Wrestling. We've seen you there get a W there after that against Tyler Grayson. Also, Mon Valley Pro, you're on some of their content. So please support those companies. Please certainly support Godrick on his Facebook page. Join his gallantry. Like and follow his page on Facebook. Unfortunately, I can't share Facebook. I do also, before I get going here, I have to give one more birthday, which is a very important one because I don't know if I'm on here tomorrow. Tomorrow I actually might be on it. If it connects, it'll be pretty massive. But I don't want to tip my hand. But I do want to wish a very happy birthday, because his birthday is actually on Thanksgiving. That's my very good buddy, Mr. Joseph Rosas. Joe Rosas. His birthday is on Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Joe. I was with Joe on Sunday. He was actually the first person I ever had on as a guest on Sportswire Radio. This goes way back in the time machine to almost 7 years ago when I was on Skype. He actually came over to my house one day, and him and my buddy Josh Bailey, and we did the show through Skype, and we recorded a show. And the only time I ever did Sportswire actually on the road was at his house one year. We did it 1 year also from there. And I want to wish Joe a happy birthday. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time. He's at a beautiful Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And I hope that he doesn't stuff himself with too much turkey, and hopefully remembers that we're still friends after this long intro I gave him of a happy birthday and a shout out. And definitely been one of my longtime friends. We've worked together a lot in other things, and good man. Hopefully he's enjoying the cranberry juice this year, the turkey, the stuffings. I'm not going to give him any of the turkeys that I saw that I crossed the street over to a few weeks ago, but I nevertheless want to wish my very good buddy, Mr. Joseph Rosas, a happy birthday, and hope that it's the birthday yet that is the one that is the best for him, and the best is yet to come. And I hope everybody wishes a happy birthday alongside me for our good friend Joe Rosas, who was the first person to have come on Sportswire Radio as a guest a long time ago when it was Skype. I mean, this is like everybody now has StreamYard videos and fancy lights, and when I started, there was none of that. So it's a different world, which is a good thing, because that allows us to connect to people like yourself and other great people. All right, I'm going to pass the baton to you. Let's give you some closing thoughts. Anything else you want to plug, share, or say? The floor is yours.
And thank you, Reverend. Let's see here. The only thing I can really say at this point is if you're looking to catch up with yours truly, the gentleman of exquisite caliber, Godrick Sandwell, you can find me at Mon Valley Pro Wrestling. You can find me at Pros of Wrestling whenever that comes back around, which should be next March, I believe. Please forgive me, I can't remember the date.
Well, yeah, we're not going to hold it against you. March is a while from now. We'll let you go.
I appreciate that. You can catch me at WVWF from time to time.
Absolutely. WVWF goes without saying.
Yep. You can also catch me at 814 Wrestling from time to time.
Every Savage and Power Surge are there. Yep, absolutely. We know them very well.
That's right. And those gentlemen are on notice because this gentleman is hot on their trail finally.
Yes, and D Savage, they have gold, and you certainly want that. Andrew Lovelace was there a few months ago and came up short with gold.
I remember. And as far as where the rest of the road will take me, well, in the honor of the gallantry, I hope to wrestle in a city wherever you are, and have ring will travel. It's really that simple.
Listen, the old adage is have cool will travel, but it's have ring will travel. And Godrick has definitely traveled as far as Tennessee, and he may travel farther. And I know for sure he's going to definitely be in Mon Valley Pro on the 13th. You'll see him in the WVWF on the 20th, and I'm sure that'll, whether she likes it or admits it or not, the fabulous Phoebe Harper, it'll certainly make her feel a little more fabulous, whether she admits it or not. But Godrick will also be a part of companies like Mega Pro Wrestling, Pros of Wrestling. You'll see him again, maybe down the road again, 814 Wrestling. And follow his page on Facebook. Follow Mon Valley Pro Wrestling on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Give them a sub. Also, Courtney. Big shout out to Courtney. Like I said, Courtney, check it out. Courtney did an interview with this guy, Professor Bear from the Wrestling Society. Really,
that's right.
Because Professor Bear, I actually know Professor Bear. I was one of the first people to have had him on my platform. He was just starting out with this thing on Facebook, and he came to my platform over a year ago, and now he had on the NWA champion, who you know very well, and he was there, and Courtney was on his platform, and it was very, very good interview. And also Courtney, like I said, did a great review on the Raven effect and Nevermore. I'm going to just leave that at that because there might be something down the pike here on Sportswire with that, but we'll leave that at that. But my friend, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Certainly, I'm sure you have your preferred beverage and your Angel's food cake lying around for Thanksgiving, and enjoy it, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there definitely in the month of December, and I'm sure we'll talk in January in 26 about what you have up the pike, and congratulations, and I think on at least the win on Tyler Grayson, and congratulations on the WVWF win, and we'll see you out there soon, and have a happy Thanksgiving.
And you as well, Reverend Bryce, Zilla, Mr. Parsley, all of our other guests.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, angels and demons, Nephilim and Cambion, all manner of creature all around the world. Happy Thanksgiving from yours truly, from the Study with Love, Godrick Sandwell.
That's the gentleman of exquisite caliber himself, Godrick Sandwell. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportzwire Radio, hit the sub button for us. I hope that everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. I will be here Thanksgiving evening. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. You'll have to find out and stay tuned. Card subject to change for once. We'll use that here on Sportzwire. Card subject to change, but stay tuned for that. But please follow and sub to all the companies that were here tonight and also the companies that Godrick works for. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Be safe out there if we don't see you tomorrow. And there you go. Somebody would like to say happy Thanksgiving. Somebody that's here in the chat. We appreciate you tuning in, whoever you are, and hope you enjoy it. And hopefully it's the happy Thanksgiving is for you. And you missed the Godrick Sandwell talking about Mon Valley Pro Wrestling, and you missed him talking about the WVWF, and you missed him talking about pros of wrestling, but he'll be back on here very soon. And thank you for tuning in. And until then, hit the sub button for us. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally with all music and wrestling matters. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportzwire Radio with all music and wrestling matters. Have a great night, everybody. Like I said, card subject to change. Maybe see you tomorrow, but definitely happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you then. And thank you for tuning in here tonight.